on 2nd and 13. Lance. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play. One that may have some points on the board when this drive is over.
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Following the interception, Winston. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And this one is incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Play fake. Winston. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
The first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter, because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. 1st down, Winston. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
The Saints at 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And some room to maneuver. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
This is going to be the matchup to watch out on the perimeter, and it won't be the last time these two go at it. Both of them believe they are the superior. In this case, the win goes to the defense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And out of bounds right around the 20. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. The kick by Lutz is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. Room here to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Houston.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Winston. Over the middle, into the hands of Michael Thomas. It'll be a gain of 5. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. They're indeed going. It's Winston. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. They only needed that 1 yard going for it on 4th. I got to be honest, I thought they were going to stay on the ground. They surprised me. Did they surprise you?
I'm with you on that one. I thought they'd find a way to create some type of a power run and try and pick up the first down, but they decided to keep the ball in the hands of the guy who could throw it, and it paid off.
Yeah, that decision paid off indeed. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
He took a shot there there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Again, it's Kamara. Fights through, and now a crease. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
61 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. Jameis to throw it. Wide open receiver complete.
Down inside the 10.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A big play that time on a catch and run. 31 yards.
I would say just add that one to the total big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
It's a loss of 1. It brings up 2nd and goal at the Texans' 6-yard line.
To throw, Winston.
That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans.
A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Saints have retaken the lead.
Lutz with the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing right now, so they're trying to keep pace here. They need a touchdown drive.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're loving this, but if you're a fan of defense, this is tough to watch, and it's also tough to keep that up when you just watch your opponent march down the field on a scoring drive that lasts into double-digit snaps. You need a score here, not just to follow the momentum from your last drive, but put the onus back on your opponent, and that's what they're doing right now, swapping that onus back and forth.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have now allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And they'll send the slot in motion left.
Here's Lance to throw it.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
You're looking there, the defensive back was maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
A 1st down throw for Winston. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down.
Now Winston. Throwing left side here, and it's complete.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
A 44-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
On play action, Lance had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, third down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
To throw, it's Lance. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Wants to try to have the PAT. And the lead is now 13. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback. And they'll begin at the 25.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set them back on second. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This is a half for not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
And the Texans are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football. Because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Shotgun now for Lance. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Lance now to throw.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3 and out.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away.
And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line.
Their own 16-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the 2nd quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Final play of the half here, Winston.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 36-yard line.
From the gun, Winston.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 10 yards, good for the Saints, 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On 1st and 10, Winston.
Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Kamara off the draw. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Now Winston. And he will find his man on the outside.
He's got room at the 30, down the right sideline.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I tell you, for a defender, that's got to be a scary sight, seeing a big man like this with a head of steam behind him as he makes that catch and then turns upfield.
To throw is Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Here's Winston.
That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans.
A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Saints take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Now here's Winston as his guys will line up and go for the 2-point conversion. They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Pierce will try to pick it up.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. Oh, on the defensive side, that is so deflating.
Not only is it deflating, they've got to look in each other's eyes on that side of the ball and take each other's measure. You've got them backed up, perfect situation. And what they said to you on the other side is, we don't think you can stop us. Went ahead and got it in that position. That should never happen.
Another carry for Pierce.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
And now they'll throw with Lance.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
He'll get it inside the 20.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the third quarter, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Pierce.
They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here from the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that'll get the deficit back to 16. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
They're on 19-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
70 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. On play action, Winston. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Throwing again. Winston on 2nd and 10. He's going to go up top again. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I've got a good friend in football who always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
Play fake. Winston. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards.
And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Throwing on first down is Lance.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough, but man, this defense, they have been ball-hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence of actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
First down, Winston. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need.
And the Texans are right back in this football game.
That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Jameis now on first down. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Jameis to throw it.
Olave holds it in. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Ron Thornhill.
And the Texans are right back in this football game.
He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
And Pierce gets it again on second down.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Going for it with Pierce.
They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on second and third. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, that means this next drive is going to start at the 3-yard line. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
What's good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And this will be a return from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Finds his man, it's John Mechie.
Oh, able to avoid him.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Off of play action, here's Lance.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
He's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed.
Open man is Cooks. He's got it. Touchdown, Texans.
A great play there. Scoring a touchdown against his former mates.
And the Texans are able to cut into that deficit. Lance going to try to throw for this.
And he's going to get into the end zone for 2. And they're back within 2 scores. Down 15 now. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure. But that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready. Because you may need more.
Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Meanwhile, Winston's throw caught by Olave.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big play there on the catch and run. 36 yards.
So this one a victory here for New Orleans. Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for the Saints, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns.